evening, everybody. My name is Mark Epstein. I'm the Vice Chair of the City of Gastonia Arts Committee, and I'd like to welcome everyone here tonight, members of City Council that are here, the school board, and most especially the students, teachers, and their families for coming to bring us such wonderful pieces tonight. Even just thinking about some of them gives me some brightness on a dreary day, and thank you all for being here. I'm welcoming you on behalf of Councilwoman Jennifer Stepp. She's actually the chair of the City of Gastonia Arts Committee. She's been called out of town and has asked me to read the statement of welcome to you. Thank you all for coming out tonight to the City of Gastonia's High School Art Show. On behalf of the City of Gastonia Arts Committee, I want to welcome you to this celebration of student art. I regret I cannot be with you tonight, but I had a prior commitment out of town. I did, however, get a chance to see the art that was submitted and was very impressed by this sampling of the artistic talent that we have here in this community. Choosing a winning piece was such a difficult task, as there were such beautiful elements in each and every art piece. I love things about them all. As you know, most artistic pieces have a story behind them. An event, a memory, a dream, an emotion, inspiration. And we'll get to hear about some of those stories tonight and inspirations this evening. It often makes the pieces mean even more as we begin to feel a bit more connected to them. To the teachers of these students, thank you for your instruction, your guidance, your encouragement, and your investment in these students. To the students, thank you for using your talents and sharing them with us. Thank you for helping us reflect, to think a little deeper, cherish our own memories, and keep dreaming our dreams. Art is truly an important part of our lives and our community. It builds bridges, connects us, it helps us understand and feel. Keep up the great work, keep honing your skills, and please keep sharing your talents with us. But most of all, keep enjoying your art. I congratulate all the winners as well as all those chosen to have their art represent their schools and the City of Gastonia. May you all have a lovely evening of food, fellowship, fun, and best of all, art. I would like to call Councilman Gallagher to come to the podium to go over tonight's order of events.
How about a round of applause for Mark for standing up here? Thanks. Just want to say to everyone, thank you for coming. You braved the rain and all. I came from Charlotte, and it took me an hour to get here just from the traffic and the accidents on 85 and stuff. And I also, I'm going to do the order of events in a minute, but I just want to let everybody know how this all began. This began 7 years ago, and it was because we saw the art panels downtown that were blank, and we wanted to fill them up with artwork. And we said, what better than to do it with the students who create art every year, every day at their schools. So we had our first art contest, and that's when it all began. So I just want to say thank you all for coming, and I also want to let you know that we need to give a round of applause to Christine Engel, because Christine is the one that really put everything together. The pictures and all that you see, she's Christine. And here's how the order of events are going to go today. Each school will be presented in alphabetical order. There will be 3 art pieces from each school, and that were chosen by the art teachers. And we will present the winner that judges voted on that will be shown. They'll be showing the 3 art pieces right here, and then we'll go through. Now the voting doesn't take place just by one person. Christine sends out the voting to everybody. That means the city council and the people on the art committee. They all get a chance to vote on which painting, because at the end of this, we're going to pick out who's number 1, 2, and 3. But the paintings that are chosen from each school, the one that is chosen is going to be at the Shield, and it'll be here for 1 year up until May 2024. So you could have your family and friends come down and see it and, enjoy it. What else? Please feel free to snack and refill your plates at any point during the presentation. So I just want to say manja, and thank you all for coming. First one up is going to be Bessemer City High School, and that's going to be led by our Gaston County Board of Education person, Dot Cherry. Dot?
First of all, thank y'all for having me here. And before I get started to talk about these amazing students, I just want to thank the City of Gastonia again for celebrating the wonderful artists that we have throughout the county. This is a great program that we put on, or the city puts on every year. We celebrate so many things, so many good things about our students in the county through all our schools. Art is such an integral part of all of our school systems and all of the various schools that we have, private, charter, the traditional public schools. And it never ceases to amaze me to see the diverse and amazing talent that we have throughout our schools. So I just want to say thank you again to the City of Gastonia, because it's because of them that we're able to do this. So let me start with Bessemer City. The art teacher there is Pam Underwood, and she is phenomenal. Know her personally. And she chose 3 students, Kaylor Davis, Tori Johnson, and Emily Hurst. So I'm going to start with Kaylor. Of course, again, I can't see the screen, so is this Kaylor? Okay. Her art piece is titled Fall Leaves, and it's in colored pencil. This year we had the students, and I don't know if Jim mentioned this, but we had the students describe their pieces. So I'm just going to read what Kaylor wrote. For my piece, I studied Andrew Wyatt and how he turned ordinary things to extraordinary things. We went outside and picked up average fall leaves and studied them intently. I really wanted to focus on bringing out those details and bringing the things that people casually step over every day and take for granted, and I wanted to bring them back to life. Next, we have Tori Johnson. She's in the 12th grade, and her art piece is titled The Crab Hunt. It's a collage. And Tori says, the reason I chose to do a collage is because I found it really fun to do it, and I really like the way that Romar Bearden made his art look. I chose crabs because my family and I go crab hunting when we go to the beach. And every year do they go to the beach, and I really love to do it. So that's why she chose her theme, and she enjoyed doing collage. Our last presenter is Emily Hurst, who is a senior as well, and her art piece is entitled Ordinary Fish. She used acrylic. And she says, I chose to use my ordinary fish artwork because it's all original and I had a great time painting. We studied Henry Matisse, and he's known for his use of color in his original work. My choice of color was tropical. I actually saw this fish at the pet store, and it came to mind while studying Matisse. I'm very proud of what I created because this was a big piece for me and a different study that I wasn't comfortable with. Now, the winner of these 3 at Bessemer City is Emily Hurst, Ordinary Fish. Our next presenter is Councilman Kellogg, and he'll be talking about the East Gaston High School artist.
Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to be here this evening to be presenting East Gaston High School. And first, I just want to thank the teacher, who is Elizabeth Covington, and the students for presenting their works, and that is Bailey Burlington, Heaven Carpenter, and Emily Egmanson. So there was 3 wonderful presentations, and I'm going to start with the first one, and that is Bailey Burlington, grade 11, and her piece is entitled To Andy, and the medium is mixed mediums, and here's a description of her artwork. This 4 styles piece combines the artistic processes that she loves most. The goals of this project were to adapt the processes of other artists and to go back to her artistic roots. This project cured her art block, and she rediscovered the love of the processes she first started with. She landed on Andy Warhol's process, and from there, Bailey proceeded to do the section of highlighter and the section of the Ben Gay dots. Her choice of Marilyn Monroe was inspired by her early art career, a consistent figure in her pieces. The mediums used were Karen Brushmaker prose, Sharpie liquid highlighters, assorted graphic pencils, Posca pens, Tombow, Futanushku fine liners, and highlighters. And I hope I said all of those correctly. That was a lovely piece from, and we will go on to the second one, which is Heaven Carpenter, grade 12, and that piece is entitled Trinity Tranquility. So a brief description is the medium is sunprint, and the class walked around the school property to collect different nature items, leaves, flowers, seed pods, whatever we wanted. After this collection session, we strategically placed the items on the paper to form the silhouette. Then we traced with markers in order to form these pieces, a project purely about composition. My priority artwork all contained a depiction of sorts and objects ranging from German shepherds to clocks, but this project was new, containing no depth but based upon shapes, a formal first attempt in the abstract. A beauty by design, this piece aided in inspiring the continuation of my career. And that is a wonderful piece. And now we're ready for the third one, which is from Emily Egmanson, grade 12. And the title of that piece is My Dog Crossing. And the medium used was mixed mediums. And here's a description of that piece. Across the Rainbow Bridge is where my dog has gone. His name was TJ, and he loved to eat flowers. Gone too soon, shown through the wings, still fresh, and bleeding from growing out. TJ was only 6, but had suffered from lymphoma. He was euthanized so he would no longer have to suffer. I will always remember every detail of that day, even down to the color of his bandage, which was pink. And I would argue was his favorite color since he always loved pink toys. I know he's up in the sky, chasing the stars and having the best time imaginable. Knowing he will be there waiting for me gives me some peace whenever I think about the more grim side of life. The mediums used were acrylic paint, string lights, paper from a book, cardstock paper, fake flowers, and tissue on canvas. And from these 3 wonderful art pieces, the winner is Emily Egmanson, My Dog Crossing. And next, we will have Gaston Christian School.
Thanks, Robert. Appreciate that. Gaston Christian School. The teacher is Becky Bromitis. I know I murdered that one. And Jill Overton. That's the easy one. And the students are Delaney Kaylor, junior, Mackenzie McCoy, which is a 9th grader, freshman, and Jonathan Baker, which is a sophomore. First one up is Delaney Kaylor's The Uncle Bill's Bug. This acrylic paint with pointillism technique with each individual point making up part of the picture. And this is the description that he gives. This is pointillism painting, of one of the cars that has been in my family since 1969. It's a bug. Each year, I go up to New England and have been fascinated with my uncle's car collection and the lengthy history of each car he has. He put the utmost amount of effort into each of these cars and keeps them running and in good shape through many years, showing just how much meaning these cars have to our family. The stories of the cars and what they have gone through inspired me to paint one using a technique I have never tried before, pointillism, which is really nice, which seems difficult at first, but has now evolved into one of my favorite ways of painting. And I like the way that he cut off half the car. You know, he didn't show the whole thing, just on either end. Pretty in depth. That's awesome. Next up, Mackenzie McCoy, freshman, and title of her art piece is My Lighthouse. And I think we all know this lighthouse. She used acrylic paint. Her brief description is, I have grown up visiting my grandfather's beach house in the Outer Banks, seeing the lighthouse in my painting as well as many other scenes. My grandfather has always been a role model to me throughout my life. He was diagnosed with cancer and was told that he would die several years ago. To this day, he still lights up a room better than anyone else. He is my lighthouse, and he was my inspiration for this painting. Mackenzie, that's awesome, really. That's touching and very awesome, and it's a beautiful painting. You did a wonderful job. I love that lighthouse. Next up, Jonathan Baker. He's a sophomore. The Crown of Thorns. His teacher is Jill Overton, and Jonathan took a picture see, that's one thing about our art show. I mean, we have so many different mediums, you know, it'd be nice to have, I think we might have to break it down into certain mediums like photography, one, this, that, and the other thing. Anyway, just getting off base there. But he took this photograph of an interesting vine he found on campus of his school so that the intricate details of the vine could be seen. He didn't use his iPhone, okay? He didn't use his iPhone. You know, I always think I'm the greatest artist. No. He used a special macro lens to capture the unique subject up close. This photo is presented in black and white so you can focus on the intricacies of the vine and the lighting of the photo, rather than focusing on the color. I named the photograph Crown of Thorns because it reminds me of the crown that was placed on the head of Jesus. To me, this picture really shows the little things that God created. And if you aren't looking for it, you may not even notice it exists, yet God still created it. And it's amazing and beautiful. Great job, Jonathan. Really, that's really, really awesome. And the winner is Uncle Bill's Bug by Delaney Kaylor. Next up is Gaston Day, and presenter will be Councilman Robert Kellogg. Robert?
Thank you, Jim. I will be having the honor of presenting Gaston Day School. The teacher is Holt Harris, and the students who participated are Mary Stewart Eford, Madeline Singh, and Kiera Gonzalez. So for Gaston Day School, we will start with Mary Stewart Eford, grade 10, and her piece is entitled What's for Dinner? And it's a charcoal medium, and here's a brief description of that piece. I am so lucky to have a mom who has a passion for cooking and always provides our family with mostly delicious meals. Every day when I come home from school, practice, or whatever else I may be doing that day, it never fails to ask my mom, what's for dinner? When this pot is on the stove, the possibilities are endless. Homemade chicken soup, sauteed green beans, yummy spaghetti, or really old frozen leftovers could all be cooking in the pot. So of course I have to ask, While this used to seem like a given part of life for me, over the years I have realized that not all people get to experience something like this. This pot represents my mom's commitment to taking care of our family, as she consistently prepares supper for all of us. No matter how her day went or how she feels, those stove dials are almost always turned on, the flames always burning, just like her love for our family. And that's a wonderful piece. And the second piece is from Madeline Singh, grade 11, and the title is Fly Fishing, and the medium acrylic. So here's a brief description. This painting has taken a long time because of the detail in the waves and ocean, as well as the clouds and reflection in the wet sand. I have learned a lot about color theory and technique for painting clouds in working on this piece. It is my first in my study of fish and the ocean, and I'm excited to continue. So last but not least, the third piece is Kara Gonzalez, grade 10, and the title of that piece is Reflecting Vase, in the medium colored pencil. I took a picture of this vase in my kitchen that is surrounded by windows. This provides lots of interesting reflections on the vase. I think the reflections on the vase and the different colors really made the picture unique. When using colored pencil on this piece, I could shade places like the table and greenery and still show each line while blending the colors together. Overall, my favorite thing about this piece is all of the different colors and how well they all go together. The blues, the greens, and the reds. So those are the three pieces that we have from Gaston Day, and the winner is Madeline Singh, Fly Fishing. Next up, we will have Highland School of Technology with the presenter, Dot Cherry.
Our three our three artists. See, I do mess up. Our three artists for Highland are senior Zoe Bell, sophomore Justin Boyd, and senior Catherine Lindquist. We'll start with Zoe. Zoe's art piece is titled Look Left. It's in pencil, and Zoe describes her piece with this. Pencil drawing of a woman looking to the side. She's draped with a black cloth with her hand on her shoulder. The drawing crops right below her shoulders. So she's very simplistic in her description, and it is stunning. Next is Justin Boyd, the sophomore. His art piece is titled Carter. The medium is photography. And Justin describes his work with this. A photo of Justin's fellow art student, Carter, gazing out the window. It's been given a filter to make it look more unique. And finally, Catherine Lindquist, senior. Her art piece is titled Fireflies. Her medium is oil. And Catherine describes it as following. Growing up as a young girl, some of Catherine's favorite moments were spent during early summer evenings with her dad catching fireflies. Since she is leaving home soon, she wanted to capture this special father-daughter moment in an oil painting. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention their art teacher. It's Marty Hutchins. Marty has been at Highland for a number of years, and just like every other art teacher here, is phenomenal. It's amazing the talent that our art teachers bring out of their students. And on that note, the winner of Highland is Catherine Lindquist, Firefly.
Good evening. I'm the oddball here. I'm not a politician. But my name is Julianne Lehman. I'm the Keep Gastonia Beautiful administrator. So I have an eye for design, I guess. So I'm presenting on Hunter Huss. So the first painting here is from Brian Carrillo-Angel. I'm hoping I said that right. He's an 11th grader, and his art piece title is called Playing Coy, and the teacher is Noah Hartley. The medium is pen and ink, and the description is, Playing Coy is about the relationship of good and bad and how sometimes they exist to balance each other out. I like that. Yin and yang, that's what it says on the top if you can't see that. And our second piece is Kelly Amador, grade 11 as well. The art piece title is called Creation. It might look familiar. Teacher is also Noah Hartley, medium, pen and ink. She said, I chose to illustrate this famous scene and shade it in with the words creation, God, and Adam for the text as a value project. This idea was not only to pay homage to Michelangelo, but also to challenge myself with something difficult. And the final piece is from Jalea Jeffries, grade 12. The art piece title is called Mental Health Awareness. Teacher Noah Hartley, medium, pen and ink. For this project, I wanted to depict each character from Winnie the Pooh and shade them in with each disorder they were created to represent. It is important that we always find ways to smile and laugh about the difficulties around us. And the winner is Brian Carrillo-Angel, Playing Coy. Congratulations. Up next, a little lady friend up here. Come on up here. I'm a lady.
Good evening. I'm Danielle Barber, and I have the privilege of announcing the artists from Mountain Island Charter. We have 3 artists, of course, Sullivan Strauss, Taylor Parks, and Ella Little. I would also like to apologize. There was a misprint as to who the teacher is. The correct name should be Dawn Strauss, is the teacher for Mountain Island Charter. First piece we have by Sullivan Strauss, who's in the 10th grade, and the title of his piece is Scarlet. The medium used is sketch pencil on mixed media paper. This piece is a graphic drawing of my little sister Scarlet. It is drawn in a distorted perspective and inspired by a photograph I have of her. In this drawing, my goal was to show the importance of her in my life and the significance of the memories we have together. The drawing depicts a single moment that we shared, and it is drawn in a way that I visually remember it. The warped look of the picture shows the blurriness and the distortion that can occur when reminiscing on something. When creating this piece, the most challenging part of me was drawing in an unusual perspective because it required a lot of thought and reworking. The most enjoyable part for me was being able to capture the look of my little sister and working on the small details in the piece. The second piece by Taylor Parks, who is in the 11th grade. Medium used sketch pencil on mixed media paper. And although I do not have a description of this piece, we can visually see that it is another piece using and depicting this distorted perspective also. And then the last piece by Ella Little in the 10th grade. And the name of this piece is The Appalachian Trail. The medium used is sketch pencil on mixed media paper, and a brief description. This is a graphic sketch of my dad's face from a distorted perspective while we were hiking. And the winner is Ella Little, The Appalachian Trail. We'll have Councilman Gallagher come back to present Piedmont Community Charter.
Councilwoman Danielle Barber, thank you very much. Okay. Piedmont Charter. Teacher Danielle Birch and Charles, I'm going to mess that one up, Violex? Huh? Vayu? Okay, thank you. That's real French, and I should have asked my wife. She speaks French. And the students are Emma Langschwager. Did I say that right? Okay, all right. And she's a junior. And we have Alex Wintworth, who's in senior, and Pearson Parker, who's a sophomore. First up is Emma. We'll leave it at that, okay? Emma L. The teacher is Danielle Williams, and the title piece is Eddie. This is on acrylic canvas. This is a portrait of Eddie Vedder, the lead singer of Pearl Jam. Yeah. I made this painting as a gift for my dad. Yeah, I knew your dad would like that, yeah. Pearl Jam is my dad's all-time favorite band. He grew up listening to them and made sure my siblings and I listened to them as well. Oh yeah, I can see that. What a good dad. My dad and I have always bonded over music, so I thought it would be special to combine our favorite things into a painting. The background of the painting mimics my dad's favorite album, 10, and I chose to do the portrait in black and white to symbolize that his music will live on forever. Great job, Emma. Next up, Alex Wintworth. The senior, the teacher is Danielle Williams, and he used mixed medium collage, watercolors, acrylics, and pencil. Watercolors are really hard to deal with, man. I'm not an artist. I can't do any of this. These guys, phenomenal. This surrealistic piece portrays the anxiety of having a your passion viewed. For many students, our passions are begun to be viewed and made for them rather than for ourselves. The feelings of eyes from those who expect great things and great works, and distress feeling it can create. This is a layered piece, each subject type being displayed at a different height, creating a truly three-dimensional piece. Alex, awesome. Really, I mean, there's a lot of meaning going on there, and every picture's, 1,000 words. This is probably 10,000. Good job. Next up is Pearson Parker, sophomore. The title of her portrait is The Portrait of Her. So I guess this is Pearson. She used graphite pencil on a drawing and a very brief description. Pencil drawing of a woman in profile view. And good job, Pearson. I mean, to do that in pencil, the only thing I do is crunch numbers, and that I like to see. That you could do a lot with a pencil. The winner for Piedmont Community Charter School is Pearson Parker, Portrait of Her. Next up is my colleague, Councilman Charles Odom. Charles?
Thank you. It gives me great pleasure to present Stuart W. Cramerton High School this evening. And I'd just like to say I have enjoyed thus far all the creative minds of our young students in Gaston County, rather. They are brilliant, and I see this on canvas here. Our first student today is Mila Ranucci, I believe, maybe. She's 11th grader. Her art piece is titled The Bond. The teacher is Tim Stiles. Her medium piece today is acrylic paint. And she says my art piece is about the relationship of my friend and her horse and the affection they share as rider and steed. Our second one today is Ellery Lamb. She is a 10th grader. And her title of her art piece is called Diseased. Again, the teacher is Tim Stiles. Her medium is mixed medium, and it was no description for her art piece. Our third one is Isabella Casito. She's 11th grader. Her art piece is titled Deep Blue. Her medium is block print. Her description today of her piece is my art piece was inspired by my fear of deep water, the inability to see what is lurking in the water, being trapped, unable to escape. And the winner is Mila Ranucci, the bond. Thank you.
Just want to give you a few brief items. First up, I just want to remind the teachers and students that there's gifts on the tables, the centerpieces. They're for the art teachers because it has all three of the photos, three of the pictures that they've used for the artists. So if the teacher's not here, if you could bring it to them, we'd appreciate it a whole bunch. That's one. And two, the students have gifts. They're out in a little foyer over here. There were little acrylic pieces. They have a picture of what you created. So take them home because really it's awesome. It doesn't matter where you place because y'all are very talented and very creative. I mean, you've given us a blessing by just being here and showing us your artwork. And I just want to say, next up, the 2002 art show winners will be available to pick up. So the ones that are out here on display, they'll be picked up. You could email Christine, right here, Christine Engel, or talk to the teacher whenever the art is at the Parks Recreation Office. That's downtown Gastonia. It's right next to the museum, the military museum. Is that it? That's where her office is in there as well. Okay, so that it's on 2nd. Okay. So please pick them up as promptly as possible. And the 2023 winners of each school announced tonight will be on display in the Schiele Museum until May of 2024. So we want to get to the moment everyone's been waiting for. First, second, and third. Okay. And once again, all the winners, everybody who participated, thank you. These guys, really, it was a blind type of voting on it, so no favoritism. All right, third place goes to Stuart Kramer, The Bond, and that's Mila Ranucci. Second place goes to Hunter Huss, Playing Coy by Brian Carrillo-Angel. Good job. Last but not least, first place goes to Gaston Christian Uncle Bill's Bug, Delaney, Kaylor. Now, all of the winners for the art pieces, if you guys could come up and be up here, we want to take a picture of you. And not just the three winners, all the winners from all the schools that are here. So come on up. All right. And then all the students will come up as well because we want to take a picture and to memorialize this or remember it. So come on up. Don't be bashful.